The story of George Washington, the father of our country. Imagine a time when the United States of America was just a brand new idea, a young nation taking its very first steps. Guiding this new country, like a steady and caring father, was a tall, brave, and honest man named George Washington. His journey from a young boy in the Virginia countryside to becoming the first and greatest president is a story of courage, leadership, and a deep love for his country. A boy in Virginia. George Washington was born in Virginia on February 22, 1732. He grew up on a farm or plantation called Ferry Farm. As a boy, he loved the outdoors. He spent his days riding horses, exploring the woods, and learning how to be a skilled farmer. Young George didn't have a lot of formal schooling like kids do today, but he was an excellent student of life. He learned about honor and hard work from his family and through his own experiences. One of his first jobs was as a surveyor. This meant he traveled deep into the wild, untamed lands of the Virginia frontier, carefully measuring the land and drawing maps. This work was difficult and often dangerous, but it taught him how to be a strong leader, how to read the land, and how to be self-reliant. These skills would become incredibly important later in his life. A leader for the army. As George grew into a man, the 13 colonies began to dream of becoming a country of their own, free from the rule of Great Britain. When the fighting of the American Revolutionary War began, the colonies needed a leader for their new army, the Continental Army. They chose George Washington. It was a tremendously difficult job. The Continental Army was a small, ragtag group of farmers and shopkeepers. They were fighting against the mighty British Army, which was the most powerful in the world at that time. The American soldiers were often cold, hungry, and their uniforms were worn and tattered. General Washington was the glue that held them all together. He was known for his incredible bravery, often riding to the front lines of the battle to inspire his men. One of his most famous moments came on a freezing Christmas night in 1776. The American cause was looking bleak. Washington led his shivering soldiers on a daring mission across the icy Delaware River to launch a surprise attack on the enemy at Trenton. This bold victory boosted the spirits of the entire army and showed that the Americans would never give up. For 8 long years, Washington led the Continental Army through hardship and triumph. His unwavering leadership and steady determination kept the fight for independence alive, and in 1783, against all odds, the Americans won the war. The United States of America was finally free, a president for the people. After the war, all George Washington wanted to do was return to his beloved home at Mount Vernon and live a quiet life as a farmer. But his country needed him again. The new nation had to create a government, and the people trusted one man above all others to lead them. In 1789, George Washington was unanimously elected as the first president of the United States. He knew that everything he did would set an example or a precedent for all the presidents who would come after him. He was like a captain steering a brand new ship through uncharted waters. As president, he helped to establish a strong and fair government. He oversaw the creation of the First National Bank and signed the bill that would create a new capital city, which would one day be named Washington, D.C., in his honor. He chose a group of smart and talented advisors, called a cabinet, to help him make important decisions. After serving 2 terms as president, Washington made another important decision. He chose to step down and return to private life. He wanted to show the world that in a democracy, power should be passed peacefully from one leader to the next. George Washington was more than just a general or a president. He was the father of our country. His steady hand and unwavering commitment to freedom guided the United States through its earliest and most difficult years. He remains a symbol of American strength, integrity, and leadership.